Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am coming on to share with you my design team project for the month of July 2026. This month's theme is Sewn with Love by May from Craft Cottage Market. I hope everyone is doing well. I decided to do a vintage theme corset box. I was inspired by the TV show Bridgerton. I got to thinking about the Edwardian age, and I know I'm not pronouncing it exactly right, but I was thinking about, I wonder, the packaging. How would they have brought home a corset, right? So this is my interpretation of a corset box that, with my spin on it, as to how they would have brought home their corsets in a box. And I will insert a picture in right after this to show you one that I found online. And that's where I took my inspiration from. It was a 1920 corset box that I found online, and that's again where I got my inspiration from. My corset box I designed to fit May's design with her collection Sewn with Love. I love how she had the beautiful pinks and blues and browns. Everything just came together beautifully. I used papers from Miss Joyce. She hand crochets her coffee or tea dyed papers, and that's what we're looking at right here. That's her crochet papers that Miss Joyce uses and makes, and you can actually purchase those from Miss Joyce here on YouTube, Joyce Boynes. And I just think her work is just absolutely amazing. So I put that on the side of the box because I thought that was very fitting to go there. And then I just added in, some details using some Finnabar Phoenix through here to give it some more texture, because I really wanted to add, because when I think of a corset, I think of fabric, I think of texture. So I wanted to add as much texture as I could. I used stickles to represent, some gray stickles to represent the wiring that you would see in an actual corset. And then I added in some lace, some more avocado dyed papers that I had purchased from Sarita Sales to blend in on the box. The buttons I purchased from Katie's Tribe of Five here on YouTube. She is a reseller, and I had recently purchased these buttons from her. The lace and the bows, again, from Sarita Sales, and she has recently changed her channel name, and I just did a haul video, so check that out. And I purchased this from her, and that's what I used. And this is another one of the buttons that came with this lot from Katie's Tribe of Five. But I wanted to add texture and really just make my box stand out. And I could have easily had added in other, vintage type. If I wanted to prop it up, I could have propped it up using these vintage bobbins and made it like a table book. There's many different ways that we can use our digitals that we purchase online from Craft Cottage Market. But I just wanted to keep it simple and just really focus on the theme of how a corset, as beautiful as they are, and this digital that Miss May created is just absolutely beautiful, with the florals in there and just the different tones and colors. Hey, Miss Kyra. They're just really beautiful, and I enjoyed working with it. And it just really makes it pop. So let's get into it. So it slides open just like a box from back during that time would have kind of sort of slid open. So, and you can use this for storage for anything, you know, that you would want to, but it's just part of my project. Next, some more of that beautiful avocado dyed lace that I had purchased from Sarita here on YouTube. I added in a little charm and some sari silk there. On the back here is a little pocket where you could put some little tags in there. And then it opens up, and instead of using like magnets, I use these type magnet buttons. And I really, because I've been cleaning and I've been finding stuff, so I said, let me use some of these. Then inside, I have this side, and that's the actual pocket that, well, that's a magnet that you can actually store things in. Then you lift it up like a little folio, and some more of May's beautiful digitals. And it's just another little hidden tuck away spot, and some more laces, and a little writing spot that you can use to write. I really enjoyed doing this. And then I made some little journals, and these actually can come out. They actually come out. I hand sewed some buttons onto a button card. Okay. And I just used some elastic there. And this right here was the button card. I sewed the buttons onto the button card, and I left some of the thread out. And that's some, again, May's digital. This right here is a digital that I had in my stash for a while. And then I glued the button card down onto May's digital. And then I just thought she was absolutely beautiful to go there. And it's just some more writing space, some tuck spaces in there, another pocket. Again, some more writing space and another little pocket. Another little space there. Another writing space. And another space there. And that's one of them. And then, you know, if you use it up, then you can easily make you another little journal and keep it going versus, you know, just a one-use journal. And this one is pretty much the same way. Another little corset. And this here, I made it so if I wanted to tuck something down in there, I could. And I thought this was a beautiful image here. Another little tuck spot, but this is a double tuck spot to write. Some more writing tuck spots there. And I'm loving this the avocado dyed paper. I think went beautifully with this digital here. I love the little bits and pieces on there. And that was it. But it's just something simple and easy. And then last but not least, this was another one. And this right here was one of the little ephemera pieces. And I just wound some thread on the little bobbin piece, not bobbin, I use it all the time in slow stitching. I can't think of the thing, but you know what I'm talking about. And I just left some of the thread hanging off. And then I went through some of my old magazines and found some old advertisements. And then I just made this little ephemera thing from, excuse me, I can't talk, I can't think. But May had a paper clip as one of her ephemera pieces, along with this dressmaker pin clip, and I like that, so I added that together and stapled it together. Then I used some stickles and made details of the bobby pins to highlight them up. Then that made it look like it was a fabric sample, you know, as if like someone were getting ready to make that pattern or something. Now go a piece of the pattern, you know, from a cause or, you know, simplicity or what have you. It's like our little ideal book, like we would have, like our mothers before us or grandmothers before us would have kept back in the day. Again, going through some of my old vintage magazines, I used a corset again and just made a double tuck pocket page. And let me set it down. And I just made journaling spots, journaling cards, and just using some of those beautiful images of fabric. I thought that was very fitting. On the back, you have writing spots where you can journal, but I thought that would be very fitting to go right there. And just, you know, something different. So I did that there with the little corset. And then again, some more writing space, or maybe later on to add something else in there. Here I made, well, as you can see, a hidden paperclip bookmark and a little writing spot on the back, and that just another one of her little ephemera bits. And this, I used my little Tim Holtz stapler and just put two little staples there, and just added some coffee dot paper there to make a little writing spot. Just something different. And you tuck it all back up in there and tuck it in there. I thought that was very fitting, and that's it. But like a little ideals book, I thought, but you know. Okay. Over here, I made these pages with double-sided tape on them. So if I wanted to stick something on there, like embroidery thread, that's what that yellow thing was, embroidery thread. Duh. But you know, I made it so if I wanted to use this like a little makeshift needle book, I could put some I could stick my needles on here or embroidery thread on there. And this page, these two pages, I laminated, so whatever I wanted to stick there, it would stick. So I got 2 pages worth in order to do that. So I thought that would be cute. So it's like a little sewing journaling book / needling book, where I could put like my little, just like it says here, my little sewing supplies. Like if I'm on the go and I want to take like some supplies with me, I can put like my because it's deep enough to where my beeswax could go in there, the little stick. I don't have one here on my desk, but it would fit in there. And then, like I said, I could stick a little, it's like a little small embroidery, you know. Hold on, give you an idea of what I'm talking about. See if I can find a little piece of cloth real quick. for example, if I wanted to take this with me and work on it, I could easily like lift that one piece of tape up and like, I don't want to take that off, hold on. I should have been better prepared. But I could easily like take some of my embroidery floss, whatever color I'm working on, say if I was working with that yellow, and just stick it on there. You see what I'm saying? And it will stay. It's not going anywhere. But, you know, when let's say I'm done with that project, take it right back off and stick it right back down. You see what I mean? So, yeah. But that's my ideal behind that. And I think it would work. Like, versus me toting my big old pocketbook with me with all of that in there, and it's heavy like that. I could just stick, you know, just the bare minimum of what I would need to work with on there and work. And that would be way better, I think. Let me see real quick. Okay, here go a little stick of beeswax that I found. And like, for example, not that, but for example, like over here in my box, okay, this is what I mean. Like the beeswax, it would fit down in there and everything, oops, would close up, and I could easily, like if I'm not journaling that day, if I'm not drawing out a pattern or whatever, or if I think I may draw it around, just leave one of these in there, take the rest of these out, and then, you know, you could secure this and take it on with you. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's my logic of thinking, but that's what this is. So yeah, but that was my ideal behind that. And then Miss Sarah with my order had sent me this as a freebie with the order. So I had gotten inspiration from this to make this with some of the leftover paper that I had. So I took one of my little vintage button, and like I said, I'm not doing a tutorial. I just do what I think is right for me and how I make things. So it may be a better way to do it, but what I did was just make an accordion style little pocket with some of my leftover papers. And it can hold ephemera or whatever. It's something you can slip down in your little pocketbook or what have you. But that's where I got the inspiration for this, was from Sarah. So yeah, so I hope you like my projects for this month. Oops, for this month. And yeah, so this was everything that I created, and I hope you enjoyed it. And again, thank you, blessings. Please be kind to each other and always say hi. Thank you. Bye-bye.